Welcome to the Forward Moves podcast, a place where we talk about all things operations and marketing for your fitness business.
And where we bring on industry-leading guests to help you get the inside scoop.
I'm your host, Ash.
And I'm your co-host, Kira. And let's get into the episode of today. Welcome back to the Forward Moves podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us. She is a food freedom and business coach. She is the face behind Train with Jess, and it's Jessie Morgs. Welcome to the podcast, Jessie Morgan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. Oh my God, what's happened to my brain?
It's like one of them weird situations. It's like, we're like internet friends.
I know.
Like,
I was thinking about that on the way here because I was like, Ash and I talk like nearly every day, but we're sending each other Zayden podcasts, Zayden TikToks.
Oh
Poor
my
thing
God.
girlies
This
would know.
Hardy Zayden chat. It is consuming my life in the office and
just
now
have
at the
You have
podcast.
to read it.
Nah.
Yeah.
You want to be all up in this, trust me.
Oh, it's so good. But I'm really excited because today we get to talk business
Yay.
because you are a business coach yourself for 2 years.
Yes. Yeah, only in the last couple, I've been online I've been a coach for nearly 9 years, but only the last like 2 to 3 have been business, but like fully in business in the last 2.
Yeah. Do you want to give the listeners like a little bit of an introduction, since we've kind of like just touched on it lightly then, about like your journey, what you've done, and now what you do? Just like a recap.
Okay, so she's a bit long. She's lengthy, my business journey. Basically, I did all my uni degrees. I did exercise science, went into my master's, majored in rehab, nutrition, but in like an athletic sense. So I thought that I was going to do like all these crazy dramatic things in like NRL or like professional sport, something like that. And then I don't know whether you guys have seen my journey. I was like 94 kilos when I was at my heaviest, and I had lost some weight then, and I started training at the gym that I worked at. And I was talking to one of the like girls behind the office, and they're like, "Oh, do you want a job if you've got all these degrees?" I was like, "Sure." And then I started earning more money doing that, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to quit and I'm not going to go." Had like all these like NRL jobs lined up. I was like, "I'm not going to go. I earn way more money doing this." So pivoted there. And then I was in the gym probably 6 years, I would say. Then lockdown happened, had to pivot everything. We had no idea what we were going to do. Also working for a really, really toxic gym company, as I feel like a lot of coaches move online because of that.
Wait, sorry, were you online at all when shutdown happened, or were you online
Started,
already?
yeah.
Okay,
So I
you started at
started.
lockdown?
Started at lockdown, got my app set up. I was already doing social media and stuff like that. Basically, the toxic gym environment was kind of unfolding. We went into lockdown. I've pivoted everything. I had one video go viral and I signed up 20 online clients in a weekend.
Holy dooly.
Yep, changed my fucking life.
What was the video on?
It was like I've lost 30 kilos and now I help women do the same.
Cool.
So I always say to my clients, like, no one video is going to save you, but it kind of actually happened that way for me. But I was posting for like 6 years before this. So
Yeah.
It was your overnight success. It took 6 years.
correct.
The overnight success.
Correct. So that happened. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm not going back to the gym. So I went back initially because I was like, I owe it to my clients. And I said to them, and they all knew what was going on with the toxic gym environment. And I was like, within the next couple of months, I'm going to quit. We're literally just going through all the basics so that you feel comfortable to go online. So I went online with like 40 clients because they were just there. And I was trying to juggle both. So I was working 70-hour weeks face-to-face in the gym. Literally did not have a life. I was like up at 4 a.m., bed, home, 9 p.m. Like it was just awful. Your nervous system is shot and you're living off caffeine.
Do you look back and be like, how the hell did I do that?
I have no idea how I function. Now I wake up at like 7 a.m.
Do you think that a lot of people try to skip that part of the journey though?
Yep, 100%. I think they think we have it so good being online, and like we do portray that, I guess, but like I would not be the coach that I am today if I didn't have those 6 years in the gym.
Like you did the hard yards to earn being
Yeah.
online.
You literally have to walk up to people in the gym and talk shit to try and get them to be your client. Like that stuff that you learn in terms of sales, that's why I think I'm so good at making sales online, because like I've got that behind me. Like I just find a lot of people don't have that, I guess, experience where you've actually got to put yourself out there, and it's so much harder face to face than online. Like so much
Well, like
harder.
they say, that's why internet trolls can easily say what they want to say because they're
Oh.
behind a screen. But like you have to walk up to someone and be shot down in your face.
Yeah.
If they
And
say
like
no.
even just like little things, like you have no idea how people move, like different cues that work for different people. Like I would not be the coach I am today without face to face. So I think it's super important to have those years behind you. So yeah, I basically had that one video go off and my TikTok following went through the roof, went back to the gym, prepped my clients, and I had warned them that I was going to quit. I had one more incident happen with the toxic environment. I was like, I'm fucking done. And I messaged all my clients. I was like, I'm not coming back tomorrow. And they were all ready to go. So yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then from there, so you've been an online coach. Was it 6 years, did you say?
Well, it's like
7.
4 or 5 now, 4 solely online, I would say.
Yeah.
But the last year I was kind of doing both.
Yeah. And then
Um,
now you've grown into
So
business?
I have kind of evolved into, because I have like all my nutrition stuff, which I think a lot of people don't have that. They might have nutrition qualifications, but the binge eating side, like I did lots of nutrition psychology at uni. So that was a very big gap in the market that I found. And because I used to suffer with binge eating, that was part of my brand. So I kind of fell into that space as well. And then yeah, because I was just so good at running a business. Like I can run a business in my fucking sleep.
I would not be able to do that.
Like I think I've always just had this like really good business brain, if that makes sense.
I think Ash can relate with you on
Yeah,
that one.
You either do or you don't.
Yeah, and I
We
feel
call
like
it get it, girl. You either get it or you don't.
don't.
And if you don't understand what I'm saying, you don't get it,
nah,
kind of thing.
nah. And I feel like it just kind of naturally went into that business space. Like lots of people would message me like, oh, how many clients do you have? Oh, what systems do you use? Oh, what do you do with this? And it just kind of naturally happened. And when I realized how good I was at doing this stuff and building group programs and the social media side, far out, like it blows my mind how people think it's so hard. So I was like, if I can help people do this and make it easier, then one, not only obviously can I make some money off it, but two, the reason I got into this was to make impact. So I'm like, if I can make other coaches be better, I can be impacting other people's journeys through making them better coaches, if that makes sense.
That absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you lean more towards one now? Do you prefer business or fitness?
I think the business side is fun. I love it. It doesn't feel like work. I think because I'm like, it's just like I'm getting on FaceTime to my best friends. Like I'm so close with my clients. Like it's just kind of chill, but I will always have a soft spot for my fitness girls. Like I don't need to do my fitness clients at all anymore.
Yeah.
At all. They're probably like 30% of my income.
That's really
I just do it
good.
because it's fun.
Mm.
So I think I'll always, at this point in time, I can't see myself like getting out of that side. But the business side is getting big.
Yeah.
Very
When
big.
you said before we like get into this next bit, but you said like people are like struggling with content. Do you think that they just basically overthink it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. If people, one, didn't give a fuck what anyone thought of them is the biggest thing. And two, stop trying to have everything perfect. Their content will be so much better.
Mm. Yeah.
Did you ever struggle with what people thought of you?
Not really.
Never cared?
Okay, so for context, does anyone know who like Reg Reagan is? Like, you know, NRL? After this, go and look up who Reg Reagan is.
I will.
Bring back the biff. My mother dresses up as him.
Okay.
This will make sense in a second. But my mum is like so out there. She walks to the beat of her own drum, gives zero fucks what people think of her.
Slay.
So I've been brought up by Reg Reagan,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like I've always been a big personality. I've always been very stubborn. My parents just always let me kind of do my own thing as well. So I don't think I've had, like, I understand a lot of people have a lot of mindset blocks around that stuff, but like, I don't know, I've just learned how to, I've never really cared about what people thought.
Yeah.
So what's the difference online? And like, if you're going to troll me online, like that doesn't take away from the stuff that I know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people get really caught up on, oh my God, what if someone says this? What if I get cancelled? What about this? It's probably not going to fucking happen. And
Mhm.
who cares?
Yeah. I love just being like, literally no one cares.
No, it's not that deep. I think
Yeah.
I just live my life by it's not that deep.
I really struggle. And Kira's like, you're not that important.
Like, you think you're pretty big for your boots if you think the whole world
No, it's
is going to care
true.
what you're posting.
It's true. You should see the rogue comments. Actually, I think you commented on one of my TikToks. Like, I can't believe you're fighting for your life.
my God. That was insane.
Mate, so every time I do a post that's like 1,200 calories is a joke, obviously, as it fucking is. And the people that come for me in the comments, and I think it's so funny.
She was fighting for her life. Everyone was trying to be like 1,200 calories you need to do it to lose weight. And Jess was like, shut the fuck up. Like, and I was scrolling.
People
I
were
could not believe what I was
like
seeing.
having 1,200
Yeah.
calories.
A lot of people comment and agree, and they're like, yes, when I learned how to do this, it changed the game for me, da-da-da. And then there's ones like, yeah, but I'm 5 foot and it works for me just fine. I'm like, bitch, I'm 5 foot.
I'm like, it's landed on the wrong side of TikTok. And I was
But-
scrolling through it and I was like,
But that's the whole point of controversial content.
yeah.
I do that because I know that hundreds of people are going to comment on it.
And then you will reach people who are like, oh, I like this girl. Oh.
Correct.
Do you encourage your customers to post controversial content?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, so if you think about your content in like, have you thought about like funnels, like top, middle, bottom, whatever? A top of funnel piece of content that like actually does its function is designed to go quote unquote viral,
Mhm.
right? Relatable and controversial shit does the best because people are going to comment on it. And the whole point of it is to like repel or magnetize people you want to work with, right? So spicy stuff and controversial stuff is perfect because people are either going to strongly agree or they're either going to strongly not. And most people are too scared to do it because they don't want to upset people. They don't want to have people cancel them. But I'm like, that's the quickest way for you to reach your people.
What do you think the line is though?
Yeah, I don't know. I seen a really, really rogue one the other day, and it was like, I don't know whether you guys would have seen it. It was this guy, and he basically said, it's better to be coached by someone who is skinny and not qualified than a personal trainer who is fat and qualified. I was like, whoa, that's fucking rogue. Rogue and absolutely not true. But you should have seen the comments. And I'm like, I actually sent it to my group chat with my Fast Track girls. It's my business program. I was like, this is the perfect example of rogue content that is so controversial that you're either going to be absolutely yes on board or absolutely not.
Mhm.
I'm like, look how many comments this dude has. There was thousands.
Yeah.
I feel like in this industry though, some people can take controversial wrong and they can take it for flat out bullying.
Yeah, I agree. There's a
And-
difference between being an asshole
Mm-hmm.
and saying spicy content because you know that it's going to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Like trigger people, yes, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I have a very direct marketing, I guess.
But you don't tear people down.
No.
Yeah.
It's just to trigger an emotional response to your
Correct.
content.
Correct. And I know, and I say this to my clients all the time, I'm like, I can deliver the most rogue shit in my content and to you guys. I'm not scared to tell them that they're doing the wrong thing
Mhm.
ever. But the difference is I'm integrated in that I'm saying this from a place of love and I know it's going to help you get your next level.
Mhm.
So there's a big difference between.
Yeah. I feel like there's a bit of a wave of controversial content in the industry at the moment that is not coming from a good place.
No,
it's
I
coming
agree.
from like an attention,
Yeah.
like, you know, I want to be the talk of the town, tear other
Yeah.
people down. Like, how do you help your customers navigate that line of?
I basically say to them, I'm like, stay in your own lane. Like, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this, but like, even people that make content around like coaches aren't qualified and they're like saying about other people, you know, if you're wanting to hire a coach for this, if they're a personal trainer, they're not qualified in nutrition, da 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 da. I'm like, even calling out those people, even though you think you're doing the right thing, I'm like, it doesn't make you look better at all.
It's like the tall poppy thing. It's like you don't have to cut somebody else down for you to grow. Like,
correct.
We literally talk about this all the time.
It's just like negative energy as well.
I feel like you can call your customers out.
Yeah.
Because if in a loving way, like, you know, you can call you out.
Yeah.
But again, calling out a coach in the industry, as like we've spoken about before, it's like, yes, you might not agree with what they're doing, but that might work for people. So you're only infringing on the benefits that they could get from that coach.
Correct.
So, yeah, I think there's controversial content and there's flat out bullying.
Correct.
And not understanding how to create content.
Yeah. And I say that all the time to my clients as well. I'm like, it does not make you look better. And if you are calling out these people, let's say, in your industry, not only does it make you not look better, it doesn't make them want to work with you anymore because you're coming at it from that they can feel your energy.
Yeah.
It's huge energetic things.
Yeah, energy doesn't lie.
No, I always say that your energy speaks for you and sells for you before you open your mouth.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I used to think this was all like a little bit woo-woo. And now I'm like, no, energy is literally everything.
It's literally the vibe.
I know. Even I have a client at the moment and she's been having a bit of a slow patch. And like, I'm like, I can feel in your selling that you need to make these sales.
Like the scarcity behind the stories.
I say this all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like, I'm really sorry, 1 second.
I was going to say,
my
is
phone
that
keeps
you?
going off. I'm so sorry.
I could hear-
do not
I
disturb.
could hear the buzz and I was like,
I say this all the time and it's like, your energy is the reason why you can't sell. And I was like, your customers can literally sniff out a rat. I was like, if they know you need to make a sale, they're going to sniff it out.
Yep.
And sometimes I feel like I'm a bit of a cop-out when I say that, but it's
it's
the
true.
actual thing.
It's true. And like when you're, most people don't sell enough at all. I think that's the biggest thing. Or they go the complete opposite way and they're selling like a needy girl trying to get a boy's attention. I'm like, I always use that like dating analogy, you know, how like you're texting a boy or whatever and, you know, they start to pull away. So then like they double text and then there's like a triple, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. I'm like, that's just as repelling. I'm like, even though you have good intentions, if they're avoidant, if your customer's avoidant, it's going to make them avoid you even more. It's going to repel them even more.
Let's go into that because lead gen time, I feel like there's a lot of confusion around lead gen time. There's a lot of, I posted, why don't I have a customer?
Oh, don't.
With your lead gen time and your warming time, on average, how long do you see it takes your customers?
Honestly, it really just depends on where your audience is. Like, let's say you already have 15,000 followers and you're not making sales because it's a really small messaging problem. Say you have 1,000 clients and you've not been doing content for very long at all. I could make the tiniest little tweaks in your messaging. You could have 10, 20 clients within a few months. You still might have to grind for 6. It really just depends on where your audience, whether they trust you or not, right? And I think a lot of the time coaches are doing not bad content. They're just not speaking to their right dream client. They're speaking super broadly and they don't have any evidence of the results they get for clients. Like I think the biggest problem is people don't speak to solutions and they're wondering why they're not making money. It's always, I like to call it like the standard coach social media starter pack. And it's always just like the train with me's, what I eat in a day. That's all great, but you need to have like some authority in your content. So if someone's gone from not having any of this evidence that they are that bitch that can get results, it's going to take them a whole heap longer. I've had clients that could go 6 months and not get a single sale, but their content has been so not bad, but do you know what I mean? Like their audience is that cold that it can take a while, but then all of a sudden it'll just go bang.
Yeah.
So it really just depends. Sometimes it could be no time at all.
When we talk messaging, I want to go into finer details because obviously you work with fitness coaches.
Yeah.
How do you tweak messaging for your coaches?
I have a bit of a like process that I take them through. And I remember the first mentor that I ever worked with kind of taught me like a very broad way of doing this. And I was like, so many people don't know this. And I went a little bit further into like how I used to do it. So I was like, I can be teaching people this. It is so easy. But I make them go into like what their dream client's struggling with, what they want, start with the desire points, and they're usually pretty broad. So like, oh, they want to lose weight. Okay, they want to feel confident, they want to whatever. I'm like, okay, now go into the symptoms of that. So then I make them put like little dot points of like all the different ways confidence could show up. So it could be like not have a meltdown when you go into a shopping
Clothing
center.
store, like,
yeah.
yeah.
Walk into your best friend's 30th in a bodycon dress, like whatever, real specific things. And then I make them go back through and write down like quotes that they say. So like if it's like a pain point, especially, this is why my content I feel like slaps, and it actually is really easy for me to get leads in because people are like, oh my God, you're in my head. I'm like, yeah, because I use the words that you say. I think the key is speaking to them in the language that they use. So if it is like, oh, no matter what I try, I just can't lose weight. Oh, I've been doing my calories, I've been tracking everything down to the gram, and I've been saying no on the weekends, and I've been so good, and it's not happening. Versus most coaches are like, if you're not seeing results.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Super broad. Yeah.
Super broad. And I think they think when we say specific, they think it has to be these like really big scale things. I'm like, no, you actually just need to speak in the voice that they use. And it would hit so much better.
I find that with being specific, a lot of people can get scarcity mindset because what if everyone doesn't share that problem? But even the whole dress thing, even though we might not have weight to lose, we've all felt that at some point of putting a dress on and being like, I look like a chonk today.
I know, literally. I always say to my clients, this is a quote from Fast Track. So if they listen to this, they'll be like, but I say, when you speak to many, you speak to none. And when you speak to one, you speak to many.
Do you think that's one of the core problems in the industry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all wondering why they can't make money. I'm like, you're trying to please everyone. Literally. Like when you say, oh, you want to get results, what does that mean? That could mean for someone that they want to stop binge eating. That could mean for someone that they want to walk into their best friend's 30th. Like,
yeah, I feel like you can't say, do you want results? And then someone's like, I want to lift 120 kilo deadlift.
Correct.
And then somebody else is like, I want to lose 10 kilos. It's
correct.
Like,
I literally get my content ideas from things my clients say to me on calls and in their check-ins.
Yeah.
I said,
we say this
me and
all
you
the
have the
time.
same mind. I'm like, go look at your check-ins. That's
The
your
girls that
content.
get
Go
Get
look
a
at your
girl.
check-ins. That's your content. But I really think it is so overcomplicated in the industry, and I want to bring up the topic of business coaches because there are lots. And I feel like it is a very, I don't know how to say it.
I would say are you trying to say like it's scary to put your faith into one or?
No, it's more that there's
Everyone
it's
wants
kind
to
of
be a
like
business
coaching. Yeah,
coach.
everyone wants to be one. There's so many of them. What's your thoughts? And could you call yourself a business coach? Do you feel like sometimes that is brought down from? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you
don't
mean.
you? Yeah.
I think biggest red flag is like if your business coach has not actually been in business for a long time, what are you doing? Like, I think it's like as you were where I feel like you're going with that is like coaches, like people have a weight loss journey, they get inspired, they're like, cool, I want to be a coach, sweet. Same with coaches, they be a business coach, they run their business for like 2 years and they think, oh yeah, I could be a business coach. They think they know everything. I don't even fucking know everything and I'm nearly 9 years in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I have a mentor. Like, I think people think they know everything when they don't is probably one thing for it. But I also think why I kind of got into it and why I thought there was a gap in the market is there's lots of business coaches who are very like mindset based or this very like, I don't know what's the word, like luxury kind of, I find them very beige as well. Straight up. But it's kind of like this very like, do you know what I mean? And there's no one that's still working in the industry as a PT. There's no one that it's like, very coach specific. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I could coach so many people on
They're
their
not
business.
in touch with the industry.
Correct. And I actually find that a lot of my clients, or when I get on a discovery call, they're like, I just love that you're still a coach. And I'm like, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
There's definitely power in it. We actually just brought on a new consultant for that reason.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm not a coach. So like that's why we bought one in who is a coach. So I definitely agree there. But with business coaches in the industry, what would you say some red flags are for people to look out for before signing up with one?
Obviously, the length of time that they've been running in. Also, I think the biggest red flag is when they're not talking about what they make. This is also why you guys would have seen I split my business pages. So I was finding I was having like a little bit of a disconnect in us still fucking making bank and getting lots of fitness coaches in. But then I was feeling like I was having very like knee-jerk changes in my content. So like let's say I was priming my business program, I'm doing lots of business content. Then when I swung back and had to do my Fearful to Freedom program, which is my food freedom program, that wasn't primed as much. So then I didn't get as much. I still got like 10 people in there, but that's a low number for normal. And I said to my mentor, I said, the only difference is the priming. It's that it's just such a, does that make sense?
Yeah, because it's like how you would normally suggest for a coach to have like a personal and a business brand. Like your two brands separated so you can share like that.
And then I was like, okay, if I'm trying to get business clients in, I need to be talking about the actual, I still talk about the money that I make, but like I would want to know if I'm investing in a business mentor, I want to know the figures that they're making. I want to know what they're averaging. I want to know how long they've been averaging that for as well. I think, if they're not talking about money, that's a red flag, or at least normalizing money, I think as well. And also that they've got proof that they're actually working with these clients, or just, do you know what I mean? Like I think you need to see that they have skin in the game and that they've been getting other coaches' results.
You mean like how like coaches are posting like, oh, I went from this to this, and then you being able to share it to be like, I helped that happen.
There needs to be evidence that they're actually doing that. Second thing, if anyone sees any coach or they suggest cold DMing as part of their fucking strategy, run for the hills. I've had clients that have come to me and they're like, I'm really hesitant to invest because I've spent $5,000 on a business mentor and all they told me to do was send 50 cold DMs a day. That was the only thing.
The only thing
that they were told to do to build their business.
That's wild.
Yeah.
For $5,000, I could tell them that.
I find that
Facts.
I find the money thing very interesting.
Yeah, same.
How come you value that?
I think, like, obviously there's definitely more things, way more things than success to evaluate your success. But if someone can't make money in their business, like if you're not making money in your business, what are you going to do to help me make money in mine? Is my view on that.
Do you think there's a limit of showing how much?
No. I think if people feel funny that you're speaking about money, that's a them thing. That's a trigger in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I used to be the same. There was a business coach that I used to like look up to, and I'm like, this bitch is like flaunting her Prada bags and like all these expensive things, $1 million houses and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so flashy. I'm like, that was actually a money wound for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they're like, you don't need to be saying the actual figures and things like that, but it needs to be normalized. And I think in the spaces where I coach, a lot of people have so much wounds around their money. So if it's not normal, like we grew up in generations where money wasn't talked about. Do you know what I mean? So if I can talk about money and making money and things like that and normalize it for people, then they're going to feel safe as well.
Yeah, definitely.
If that makes sense.
Really interesting take on it. I actually really like that.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on talking about profit versus revenue?
Mates, just because you make X amount of money doesn't mean you're making that money as well. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot on oh, these 20K cash months, there's this. I'm like, okay, how much of that are you actually taking home? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I honestly think that 20K overnight marketing is really hurting the industry. It's really damaging this industry.
It is.
It's the same as a quick fix scheme, 8-week challenge.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree. And like, I talk about 20K months and I talk about 10K months. I talk about 5K months. Like, I always say as well, like, the lessons you learn earning 0K are going to be very different to 5, very different to 10, very different to 20. The lessons I'm learning now are going to be very different to when I'm fucking turning over $500,000.
What's your biggest cash month?
25K.
That's so good.
Yeah. And like that's maintained as well. So I'm sitting on like 20Ks now and that's like just pretty much in my newie. So that doesn't include like any one-offs, strategy calls or anything like that, or like ebook sales. Like I can't even tell you the amount of money I make just off my recipe books and I don't even sell them. And they all funnel into my other stuff.
Yeah, because they buy it as like a tester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you find that a lot of people are buying product-based things at the moment?
I feel like it's a bit of a mix. I feel like there's a mix. I feel like it's really hard to say, actually, because I see in my business there's definitely both. Like people are definitely buying like free offers. They're buying the low tickets that are just kind of there. But then at the same time, they're still investing in like one-to-one.
Yeah.
Even like slow periods when people are going through slow periods. Like I don't even believe in like slow periods in the industry as well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think naturally periods die down, but consistency in business will keep customers there.
correct.
Yes, it might feel slower, but like for example, we've just gone through like a bit of a slow month, but we are so busy in that month. Like Kira's like, Ash, fuck off. Like I'm so busy. Like, and like, yes, it might feel slow, but it's so fast on the back end. And I think people consider slow being leads and bookings and all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, it's more about what your MRR is. Like it's more about what keeps your business running.
I agree.
I think there's such a huge emphasis on that.
Yeah, which is also why I hate always seeing your success as like the revenue you're making. Also too, that's probably a business coach red flag is like saying you're like a multi-6-figure business or $1 million business owner, but they take that as like that's the amount they've earned total, not per year. I'm like, you're a 6-figure business owner if you're making that every year.
I saw this the other day. I thought knowing a business with 7 figures
is per year.
Turning over 7 a year.
Yeah. No. People are saying,
Well, if you've been like if you've had your business for like 10 years and then you finally have reached that much, you can't call yourself that.
Doesn't count, right?
You can say you've made your first $1 million, like
but
not in a year.
I would have made $1 million in my business.
Yeah,
like 10 years in business almost. Like,
you can start sharing it.
$1 million business owner, girls.
Get
it, girl.
With that, like with the whole 7-figure business owner, do you think obviously that's how coaches buy at the moment? They're very drawn to the numbers.
Yeah.
And do you have an issue with that style of marketing, or do you wish there was like, because for example, sustainability, no one focuses on it.
No.
So do you like, in a way, do you love it but you hate it?
I'm like, if that's what's going to get you clients in with your marketing, if that works, fucking pop off.
Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck how many clients you can bring in, how much money you can make if you can't maintain it.
Yeah.
Straight up. The money mindset thing that I said coaches struggle with. Complacency in business kills your business quicker than anything. And I think it's this very much like that shiny object syndrome of like, okay, let's say it is the 20K months, right? When you get to 20K months, you're going to have another shiny object. So they get to there, like, and it doesn't even have to be these big scale things. Like I have a client, she's like, okay, I just want to get to 30 clients. I'm like, sweet, super achievable, right? But because that's her shiny object, you hit 30 and then they get complacent and they drop off on their content. And that's actually a money guilt thing. It's like your nervous system doesn't feel safe that you're making that amount of money, so you self-sabotage it. Or your nervous system doesn't feel safe to hold. Do you know what I mean? Like if they're not disciplined or they've had to grind to get to that certain point, you have to have systems in place discipline as well to actually maintain it, and they haven't built that in the time to get there, so then they can't hold it. So it feels uncomfortable, sabotage. I'm going to stop doing my content. I'm going to stop selling. They get comfortable, and then in a few months' time, everything's burnt into the ground. That is the biggest problem I see in businesses.
You're really big on systems.
Massive.
We're really big on systems,
obviously.
as you know. Do you feel like people just blatantly ignore it?
Yes.
And like, have you felt the brunt of not having a proper system in place?
Yeah, definitely not now, but in the early stages. Like, I can't even believe how many people are still doing like, send me a DM and we'll book you a call. Girl, get some Calendly in your life. You know what I mean? Like, just those basic things where you're doing admin all the time or messaging clients all the time, or just, yeah.
Do you find it happens quite often if a coach comes in and they're like, oh, my systems are top notch, and then they like start talking and you're like,
babes. Yes, all the time. All the time.
But do you think there's like a lack of like training and knowledge to like help them know if things are good or not though as well?
Yeah, I think it's just not talked about at all. Even like I was talking in my stories yesterday about check-ins, and everyone was like, oh my God, I'm chasing check-ins every day. I'm like, girls, like, what are you doing? I'm like, okay, this is also coaches that are always like, I've got no time to do my content. Well, you fucking would if you had other time that you weren't doing all this extra admin.
What's your thoughts if you miss your check-in?
You miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I had a coach do that to me once. I never did it again.
Yeah.
It was like I was getting in trouble.
I send them like, I have a group chat with all my clients. They know it opens 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning. And they get that message to their phone. So sweet. I usually do like a bit of a message in there. I give them like a little, spend some time today setting up your week, do your meals, do your check-ins, whatever. If I give them like a little, that's in the group chat. I'm not chasing anyone. Then they've got till midnight Monday. If I want to, I'll put a reminder in the group chat, don't forget midnight, but I'm also training them to get there, because I used to do it. They'd get their check-ins Sunday night and then it would be open till Tuesday morning. So I've moved it all closer. So at the moment, I'm probably training them a little bit more to get it in that Monday. But if you miss it, you fucking miss it. And it's on you, and they know that. I'm like, if you miss it, you have to reach out to me. But at the same time, when I onboard my clients, I set those boundaries from the get-go. Yeah. But at the same time, they also know how safe I am. And I'm like, if you are going through something on a Wednesday, for example, I would rather me know about it, help you through it, than you sit on it till check-in and work it out on your own. So I feel like, yes, you miss it, but my clients know they can message me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's another coach red flag is, I think a lot of coaches don't realize how much support they actually have to give their clients. No, a lot of coaches, they think they send the check-ins, it's all well and good to have these boundaries, but they think that's all they have to do as well. I'm like, no. If I have clients, I obviously work with lots of binge eating girls as well, right? Yeah. So I usually do like a quick little message on a Thursday, Friday, just those ones that I know need extra support. It's no skin off my back. It's literally just me sending a little quick voice note or whatever. Hey, just checking in how you're going into the weekend. Or if I know that they've had like a tough week in their check-ins, I just go back and check through. And I have 50 one-to-one clients. So if other coaches have 20 to 30 and I can do this and it takes me 2 minutes, they can fucking do that with 30. Do you know what I mean?
I want to talk to you about Europe.
Yes.
Because coaches, okay, so obviously as a coach, you are your business, right?
Yeah.
You were able to travel Europe and take 4 weeks off your business without it.
Longer. It was nearly 7 weeks.
Without it dying, basically.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know the logistics of how you did it.
Because you kind of said, so we obviously get like send a little format and you said like it just ran itself kind of. So I want to ask more about that because I feel like coaches are very interested in
so
itself.
The only thing that I had to do while I was away was be there for support. That is it. So technically I was still working. I just programmed everything for while they're away. I did pause my business clients because I was like, I'm not doing a fucking call with you every week. I now do have, though, a WhatsApp only option for my business clients. If they don't want to do mentoring, they can go to that, or if they just want but they have to have worked with me. So this time when I go to Europe, I'm actually going to give them the option, if they do still want WhatsApp support. Like that was nothing. It was just like every couple of days I checked it. So I programmed everything for while I was gone. Also monthly recurring revenue from group programs. So that was just keeping me afloat. I was turning over 3K a week after tax traveling Europe with my business running third capacity.
That's so good.
That's so good.
And I came back to like 20 inquiries.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Did you pre-film content?
No.
Just film content while you're there?
Content for me is like second nature. I feel like I just leveraged that I was over there. Like I did so much food content. I did a lot of business content because I was like, bitches, I'm over here doing this and I'm earning this amount of money doing nothing. I could have stayed over there. If I took my laptop, I could have stayed in Europe.
Did you not even take your laptop?
Nah.
Oh, wowie.
Nah, I was literally just had
Wow.
my WhatsApp. The only time I had a laptop, my best friend that I was traveling with had to do uni assignments. So the only time I was like, oh, can I actually just use your laptop? We were on the bus and I was like, I still want to be on my phone. And I was just typing to my clients on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So
That would have
everything
felt
from
so
my phone.
freeing.
Oh my God, it was so good. So good. And this time, so I'm going back in September. It's going to be better again because I'm such a little efficiency systems nerd. But I've restructured one of my group programs so that it's pre-recorded. So my Food Freedom one, that was live calls. This time I've made it, so I was doing them, the live calls at like 7:00 at night because it's like Gen Pop people that have jobs, whereas a business one, I can do that in the middle of the day, no worries. But then I was like, I'm not getting to bed until like 11:00 on those nights because I need a couple of hours decompression. I was like, it's just so draining. And also it's got like lots of journal prompts and stuff in there. So I was like, if I pre-record this, they'll probably actually do better because they can pause it, actually take time to do it. And this is the first time I've run it as pre-recorded and they're getting the same results.
That's great.
Like, so this time going to Europe, I'll have that running while I'm there. And it's all.
Does it make you anxious stepping away?
Nah.
Do you feel excited that you've gotten yourself to such a point that you can step away and not feel guilty about it?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like at the start I was like, oh my God, if I go and get a facial or if I go in a sauna, like, oh my God, what are they going to do? Is everything going to fall apart? I think that's a people pleaser wound though.
I feel like
what I mean?
it's relatable to my sister recently explained mum guilt to me. And I feel like it's the same. It's like business guilt. Like you're not allowed to take.
They're like your
a step-
babies.
Yes. Because she was like, I went and got my hair cut after work and I felt guilty that I didn't pick her up on time.
Straight
And
away.
she had to wait there 30 extra minutes for me. And I was like, but you have to take out time for yourself to be a better person in the other aspects. And she's like, I know, but I can't explain it. You have to feel it. So
And like
Why we run
sometimes it
business.
slips. Yeah. Sometimes it slips. Like I've had so much going on lately and I was kind of, I'm doing a lot in my back end at the moment to make things better. I'm working with a mentor who's very much like I know back end systems, but she knows it on steroids. So she's like that next like scaling level for me. So we're doing lots and lots of refining and things like that. So I've had so much on my plate extra, but I've had lots happening in my personal life and I've not had time through the week like I normally do to balance things. So I'm at capacity. And she's like, you're not at fucking capacity. You just need to go and take some time for yourself. So you're not working all the time. But I used to feel like that when I was messaging clients all the time. So I kind of just like slipped back into that a little bit, trying to get a jump on things. But old me would have been from a space of, I need to be there because they're going to feel like, do you know what I mean? Like you need to handhold them.
yeah. How big do you think how important do you think it is to teach coaches like boundary setting?
Oh my God. Probably the most important thing ever. Like we double down as like therapists. Let's be real. Like, especially I'm working with binge eating girls. Like that's
Huge.
huge mental stuff, even business stuff, business coaching. I feel like they're therapists. And like at the end of the day, you're dealing with people 24/7. They're telling, ideally, well, most of the time, coming to you with problems, majority of the time. Like, let's be real, compared to wins that they're having through the week, if they need you for support, it's because something's going wrong. If you don't have boundaries in place and you don't have a time that you switch off, you're going to lose your mind and you're going to resent your clients and then you're going to get complacent and then you're going to lose them all.
Yeah. It's
Couldn't
massive.
say it better myself.
Literally.
I want to pull us back to traveling.
Mm-hmm.
What are coaches doing wrong? Like for coaches that say they want to do that,
Mm-hmm.
what do you see them doing that's stopping them?
They only focus on building out one-to-one.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they're only focusing on their social media to build sales. Like they've got no funnels set up. They've got no passive. Like what happens? I feel like I got really into this and I hyperfixated on this when the TikTok ban happened in America. I was like, what happens if you didn't have social media? How would you?
Can you
Bring
break down
leads in.
funnels for the listeners?
Pardon?
Can you break down funnels for the listeners?
Sure. In a simple way, it's like, okay, let's say you have a group offer, a big group offer that's like your main high ticket, or even just a one-to-one that's a high ticket. Get a little freebie that solves a problem, an elite freebie that solves a problem. Mine's like a takeaway guide for my food freedom. My business one is 30-day content reset, and it literally gives clients a new content idea every day. It's like a kind of a fill in the blanks kind of situation. I teach them how to get their dream clients. I tell them what days to sell. That funnels then into all of my other offers, and you basically set up a heap of emails that your hot leads are peppered with that funnel into your other offers. Yes?
And it's called a funnel because if you picture a funnel, like
It's
it's wider and it gets smaller and smaller, so like more direct as you get down the funnel.
Yeah.
The reason why I ask you is sometimes I explain it and I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
explain it. Because you
I
know
hope
how
that
you,
was simple enough.
you know when you get a little bit more higher level and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying to you.
I know. Well, like, I have funnels set up on freaking steroids in my business. Like I have every single group offer that I'm running for an entire year already mapped out, and every single funnel, like all I have to do is change the like dates that each one's running. As soon as one group offer starts, that's already selling in the back end for the next one on extended payment plans. Like all I have to do is sell the freebies pretty much.
Can I ask you, sorry, Ash, what do you think about the people saying that like people who do low ticket offers are like sellouts, or like everybody's doing them? I don't want to
They're idiots. Like, sorry, if I can make sales behind the scenes just selling a freebie on my stories or to my other emails, like that's light work.
I think we hear quite often like, oh, but everybody else is doing that.
No, I feel like a lot of people don't want to give away free stuff, and it shows. And it shows in your launches. Like if I have a launch for an offer, I'm priming that 90 days before it fucking launches. And if you don't have freebies to, like, it makes no sense. That is like, I'm too good for that to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a really good freebie that solves a problem for your client, it's going to make you a heap of money off it. Email is a currency and people don't see that, I think.
Do you think people are sleeping on email marketing?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. My high ticket offers, fast track and one-to-one business mentoring are constantly sold out from emails.
Yeah.
And I literally, even when I'm teaching in my group programs, I'm like, how many of you girls bought because of my email marketing? They're like, yeah, I read every single email that you sold me. I'm like, yeah. And they're elite. Like,
Yeah. Love that.
I also find that like with the free programs, it's like if I give it to them for free, they won't buy from me.
no, but they do.
Yeah.
They really do.
It's the only way that they can know. Everyone wants to try before they buy.
Facts.
Yeah.
And like I said, it needs to solve a problem. I think people, if they've tried freebies, they haven't had a good freebie.
Mm.
Like even the takeaway guide that I said, I actually use you guys' takeaway guide. And I make all my
I actually
clients.
thought that in my head. I was like, I
Yeah,
wonder if it's
I make all my clients buy your stuff.
Thank
All
you.
of them. Literally. I'm like, no, because they come on, they're like, I don't know what to create for a freebie. I'm like, go on Forward Moves, buy one of their recipe books or buy a takeaway guide or a MyFitnessPal guide or something like that and plug it for free.
I actually want to ask you about the membership because
I love
I know
it.
that you use it.
I love it.
Do you think the problem is people don't know how to use it?
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, for example, you have the takeaway guide, right? And
Yeah.
you can do the opt-in of takeaway guide, or you can do the opt-in of do you want to have your cake and eat it too?
Yeah.
Like, do you think people really struggle with coming up with that component of, okay, they've given me something, I just don't know how to make it my own?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I don't know. I feel like it's one or the other, or they're like selling them. I see people selling them all the time. I'm like, guys, you bought that.
Yeah.
True.
They can sell it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like, it's either one or the other. They're like, I can't use that because I didn't make it and it's not me. I'm like, if it's going to save you so much work, like if I showed you my training app right now, it's all the Forward Moves ebooks. I wrote my own recipe book years and years ago and it makes me sales, right? But I have the alcohol guide, I have the takeaway guide, I have the MyFitnessPal guide. That saves me so much time in my client coaching spaces. You have no idea.
But also, you've purchased that to supply your clients with value.
Facts.
What's your thoughts around everyone has the same thing?
Mate. Okay, there's like two sides to this. In a content sense, I'll go into that in a second, but everyone's selling the same shit anyway. Everyone has the same services. Everyone, if you're an online coach, you probably offer online only, you probably offer nutrition only, and you probably have a group challenge. Like the industry is saturated, I guess, in a sense, but the world's oversaturated. So there's always going to be people. We could all sell the same exact offer. We'll all have very different people buying them. So it doesn't matter. We've all got different audiences. But then at the same time, in terms of a content sense, everyone's posting content what they think they should be posting. And I guess even in my business coaching spaces, I'm like, I'm not here for you to create little robots of me. And if you're copying me, it's not going to work for your audience. Like I find, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's like you have to be authentic with your content.
Yeah, there's two sides to it. Content, yes, like don't be a robot the same as everyone else, but at the same time with offers or things like that, if you're trying to reinvent the wheel of like everyone has group programs, like it makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? Does that answer that?
It gets too confusing. Like if you're trying to reinvent, people won't understand the offer and won't buy.
Correct. And even like when they name their programs, I'm like, name it something so obvious so you have to do less marketing, girls. Like don't reinvent the wheel.
It's like how people get annoyed of people using toning, but it's like, but people understand what toning means.
Mate.
You talk about this all the time.
All the fucking time. No, I'm very passionate about this. I'm like, okay. First of all, imagine if you're a new client, you come to me and you're like, oh, I want to tone up. And I'm like, toning isn't a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hire. You're not going to hire me. Like,
shot down.
Toning isn't a thing. Second of all, the coaches that are saying toning, the coaches that are talking about weight loss, tangible, I lost 30 kilos. If you want to lose 30 kilos, they're the ones making money. You are not, because you're not speaking at what they want. Straight up. I always say to my clients, if they're like, oh, but I don't want to talk about toning because like it's not a thing. Every single client that comes to you, what do they want? Oh, I want to tone up and I want to lose weight. Fucking say tone up in your marketing, mate.
Yeah.
Like you're not morally better than someone that doesn't say toning.
Like
you're just making less money.
Yeah, you can explain it to your clients later of what it actually means.
I say tone up all the time. I'm pretty sure toning up's like in my bio.
I was gonna say, I feel like the next challenge you put out is gonna be like tone up.
And I make money and you don't. So
the tagline.
Oh my god, imagine if I said
Maddie, we can clip that for the reel.
You can keep that in. You can keep that in.
I make money and you don't.
I make money and you don't. Well,
oh, that's
do you know
so
what I mean?
funny. Yeah.
Or they're talking about their clients that have lost weight, but it's like, okay, she's lost 20 kilos, but also she's had these really awesome mindset wins. Like they feel like they have to, because we all all know weight loss isn't everything, but I think coaches think that they have to justify that the wins are also non-scale as well. I'm like, yeah, that can exist too, but also you can just say this bitch lost 30 kilos and it's sick.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to lose 30 kilos. Like,
yeah, like they almost feel like they have to give an oh my God, like a description or like an extra thing to make sure that they cover all bases or like, oh, it wasn't just the weight loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, she lost 30 kilos and this is why she's confident. I think that's another thing too. It's like, okay, yes, you could still not feel confident in a tiny body, but I'm not going to sit here and say that if you lose 20 kilos, you're not going to feel confident because you fucking will.
Yeah.
Anyone would.
Even losing 1 kilo. Like even just feeling healthy makes you feel better.
Correct. So
Yeah.
I think we all get, it's the body positivity movement, I reckon.
Yeah.
You still can,
Do you feel like it's going too far the other way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's like, there's two sides to it, I think. I think it's hard to kind of say. Like, I think we really think that we should be covering that body positivity vibe, but also it's okay if you do want to lose weight and you can still lose weight and still love your body at the same time. It's the best way that I want to put that.
Yeah.
That was a really good way to put it.
Yeah. Like I feel like a lot of coaches find they have a disconnect with their audience because they're like, I want to lose weight, but I'm a body positivity coach. I'm like, you can still lose weight. I'm like, skinny people still struggle with body positivity. That's what I was trying to say with that. What pisses me off, it's like you can only be body positive if you are in a bigger body.
Yeah.
Which is not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, yeah. Because when you lose weight, you go through the dysmorphia
Oh my God.
challenges. Yeah.
Like I was 94 kilos, but before that I was 50. I was a state netball player. I had severe body dysmorphia. I thought I was fatter then than I was at 94.
It's crazy.
wild.
How cooked is your
I
brain?
know. I remember one of my coaches telling me that I had to tighten up in my midsection. I had abs.
That's wild.
Oh, tell me you're a 90s baby with that. Tell me you're a 90s.
Are you a 95 baby?
Oh,
94. Oh.
I'm 31 this year.
Damn, girl.
It's our
When's your
30
birthday?
this year.
9th of November.
September, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
I'm April.
Are you?
I'm so soon. Hitting the 30 club. I'm
30.
pumped. I'm excited for
No,
it.
it's fun. They say
Yeah.
life happens when you turn 30.
Yeah. Is it happening for you?
Well, yeah, in every other sense other than my love life, but that's fine.
It's fantastic. Well, we end the episode on asking a question.
Here we go. What's this going to be?
Where in your life are you making moves at the moment?
Oh,
Can be anywhere.
I'm going to say actually in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So, context, which you would have known because we
Yep.
followed each other for a while, I had a really toxic, abusive, now I'm realizing is a domestic violence relationship, but I didn't really know it at the time. So that was like 18 months ago, and I'm actually in therapy, not because I have bad mental health, but I realized in my dating, I was still attracting really avoidant men because I was being avoidant. So I was like, oh, maybe I am emotionally unavailable.
Maybe it's me. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
not to that
true.
fully extent, but like partly.
No, am I the problem? Yeah, I think I'm the problem. Basically, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to heal like my attachment style because I'm very, very avoidant. Heal all my stuff and be a better person so that I can attract better in like all levels.
I
if
love
makes
that.
sense.
Do you know
Yeah.
Matthew Hussey online?
No.
He has a book and it's called Love Life, and I think you would
Okay,
really
I'm gonna-
love it.
I'm gonna
I feel like
read
I got to
that.
send it to you. It's one of the best books I have ever read,
Doesn't
and it's
have
like
Zaddy in it.
Oh.
no, sorry, but it's like
I need a throne.
for anybody else who like that also resonated with. It's all about like either it's like loving yourself to have a better love life
Yeah.
and to show up for the other person the best possible way you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was one of the best books I've read.
I like that. But yeah, that's the kind of vibe at the moment. I'm trying to do a lot in my mental health side of things.
In the relationship with yourself.
In our
Yeah.
healing era.
Yeah, in my healing era. And because I'm so happy being on my own, I think that's my
Mm.
problem.
Is that
No,
like,
but I think that can be an asset too.
It is.
Because
it is.
I
I
feel
feel like
liberated?
Yeah, I just do not like, I refuse to see that a happy life is only just to be married and have kids. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm like, well, I'm making money and you're not. Do you know what I mean?
But I feel like I went through a similar healing era where it was also like, well, I refuse to let anybody subpar into how
Correct.
happy I am with myself. So
That's what I think too. I said this to my therapist the other day and she's like, my age, she's a vibe. I'm like, she's actually just like helping keep me accountable in dating because I'm like, oh no, he gave me the ick. She's like, why did he give you the ick? I'm like, oh, he breathes wrong. She's like, Jessie, do you know what I mean?
you're
Like,
making it
yeah.
up.
or if I'm like going really hard and fast with this dickhead, she's like, okay, no, these were your values at the start. She's just like really good in helping, I can't speak, helping keep me accountable in that stuff as well. But yeah, it's kind of just like I need to be better so that I don't sabotage healthy relationships in that sense. And I think anyone that's been through an abusive relationship, it's okay that that's what it is at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've had to learn how to like trust myself again. So I've always been looking at it from this sense of like, I'm avoidant, so I'm attracting these avoidant dudes. But also I'm so happy being on my own and I never want to feel like that again. Yeah. I don't need someone to make me happy. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's a big part of my life. I'm moving forward.
And so just to wrap it all up, where can people find you? How do they come across your page?
Give it a plug, girlfriend.
Come over. Literally just Train with Jess on Instagram and TikTok, or my business page is It's Jessie Morgs. And that's really it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Such a good chat. And I hope all our listeners enjoyed the chat as well. Yeah. And have taken something away from it.
And go and make some money.
Go and make some money. Perfect. Thank you so
everyone.
much. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.